Hello, Ohio Ram Show viewers. This is Danny Chu from my home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where a little over a week ago I held the 37th annual Dirty Dozen bicycle ride up Pittsburgh's 13 steepest hills. This is a little more than a 50-mile bike ride, but it's tougher than a flat century ride because these hills average 25% grade in steepness. And I created the Dirty Dozen way back in 1983 with my brother Tom Chu and our friend Bob Gottlieb. And it has about the same lifespan as the Race Across America, which started a year earlier in 1982. Now, there were five of us that first year in 1983, and it's grown to where now I get over 400 riders, and I've broken it into 50 rider groups to make it safer. And this year I had the third largest turnout with 342 riders. We had a starting temperature of 43 degrees, the high went to 57, and in the afternoon, for the second half of the ride, there was rain. The race went well. I watched on top of some of the hills and at the lunch stop in my wheelchair. If you don't make the hill on your first attempt, then you can try it again and as many successive tries as you want until you make it all the way to the top without stopping or crashing. To be an official finisher, you have to have continuous forward upward motion for the entire hill, and there's 13 hills. Now, we don't race between the hills. It's neutral. We only race up them, and I award 10 places for the top 10 men and the top 10 women on every hill. So it doesn't go by time. It goes by points, and the person with the most points is the winner. Now, this year, 21-year-old Ian Bond had a very dramatic win. He set the new record for the highest points scored in a 10-place point system with 125 points. He won 8 hills and was second place on 5 hills. The real battle was for second and third place. It was very close. And that was Ian's 4th Dirty Dozen win. And in the women's race, Stephanie Sidlick came back and won her 4th Dirty Dozen. That's the most for any women in the history of the event. The women's race also had the most competitive field ever. The women's group had 15 riders, and 11 of those riders made it up all 13 hills, and one other rider, female rider, who was not in the points group, but another group finished. So the 12 women that made it up all the Dirty Dozen hills is a Dirty Dozen record for the most women finishers. This event is held once a year. It used to be 2 days after Thanksgiving, but this year I moved it back a month earlier to the last Saturday in October, which is where it's going to probably stay. But if any of you ultra cyclists want a tough challenge in vertical feet of climbing, it climbs about 5,000 vertical feet, come out and ride my Dirty Dozen in Pittsburgh. You'll have a blast, a great time. This is Danny Chu in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, reporting for the Ohio Ram Show.